What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we do have a 1 million coin squad builder updated for you guys. I'm going to tell you how to get 100 chemistry, how you can play it in game, 4-2-2-1, 4-4-2, etc, etc. Before I get into it, as usual, this video is sponsored by FIFA School Series. If you do want to get better at FIFA, of course, I do have my FIFA School Series running as usual. And as I said, you can join. Don't get better after 1 month. Full money back guarantee for learning the meta before it becomes the meta. But anyway, back into the team. So, team, let's talk about this stage of the game. We're coming close to Footmas, so I'm going to keep this a very much a tradable team. I'm not going to put too many players that are untradeable. So we're going to start with top tier players only now, okay? Because at this stage of the game, there's no excuses. With a million coins, you can get a well-balanced team, okay? The first card we're going to go with is, of course, Son. One of the best players in the game, period. I think he costs about 29k now. And could potentially be going lower. Sorry, forgive me, 39k. But one of the best cards in the game. He's so good, I still use him. Under a million coins, you don't have Son. I don't know what you're doing. He's probably 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, high, left mid, right mid, striker, cam. Can essentially play anywhere along the front line. Only lacks that balance. That's the only thing. But I'll be honest, with a Hunter, he's actually not too bad. Left back, we've gone with Robertson. Simply because Cornet puts the price of this team up too expensive. But if you got money for Cornet, of course, do put him in. But we go with Robertson. You can put Reguilon here. But I'm not using him for this team because we got the left-hand side a lot of Premier League players in the team. In fact, I sold my Robertson just to buy Mane. But anyway, we put Robertson in. And what it was is I wanted to create two wingers. So there's two wingers in this game. It could be also Son or it could be Mane. So we're going to put Mane in as well. A top tier card. And I'll be honest, for the price, he's too good to say no. Mane's one of those players where when you put, for example, him on 7 chemistry on the wing, he's better. There's no one better than him on the Premier League on 7 chemistry. If you want to use Werner on 10 chemistry or Vardy or Lukaku, then be my guest. But no one's, of course, going to do that. That's absolutely ludicrous. Why would anyone do that? So Mane is, of course, one of the best wingers. So to reunite it together, you're talking about one of the best CDMs in the game we've got with Kante. Now, if you don't have money to buy Kante, you don't have to buy him, okay? There's other cards you can use in the Premier League. You can use Onyeka, okay? So I'm telling you right now, if you haven't got the money for this team and you're 300k short, you go ahead and you buy Onyeka, okay? Because I have Onyeka in my team. Either Kante or Onyeka. I would probably lean towards Onyeka on my favor, on my side, because of the high agility and balance compared to Kante. But for most players, Kante's got a good agility balance as well, but Kante hasn't got the sprint speed as Onyeka, nor has he got as high agility as Onyeka either. So I prefer Onyeka. Bit more presence, bit more faster, better agility and balance. But Kante naturally medium high work rates, absolute beast in midfield. There isn't only like maybe a handful of midfielders that are actually better than him. In striker, we go with the man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm actually using him on my alternate account right now, and he's a fantastic card. I'm actually playing with Neymar up front in striker, bringing back the Neymar-Ronaldo collaboration that I had last year in my team. Ronaldo a bit clunky, Neymar a bit more fluid. Have them both together up front in striker and my alternate. With the Hunter, he's a top tier card. Even with the balance now, still a top tier card. There's no reason why you're still saying that. Just like as the previous years, his weak foot is basically like a 5-star weak foot, and he has an outside of foot shot trait anyway. A top tier card. There is no doubt about him in the team. And then to blink it together, we need a box to box. Now, I was looking at KDB, the new one, but of course he's a bit too expensive. So we have gone with Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes, I would say definitely put a shadow on him. I used him both with a Hunter and a shadow, and just from personal preference, I would say put a shadow on him, just because the way that I look at it is he's already got decent attacking stats anyway. He's gonna get, you don't get extra acceleration like you used to with shadow, so you kind of have a choice. I play him on shadow because I prefer the better defensive stats, the better interceptions, stand tackling, etc, etc. But if you figure out that you use your centre mid more as an attacking player coming in from deep going forward, you can put a Hunter on him. So either way, a Hunter or a Shadow is completely fine. I think a Shadow makes him a bit more box-to-boxy, a bit more diverse, and he can defend a bit better as well. Because don't forget, he's got a high work rate. He works perfectly alongside Kante. Kante, I'll go with Shadow. Don't go with like a catalyst on him. I don't think it's worth it because he only gets a little bit of a boost with short passing. If you use something like an Architect, you get a bit better, but you lose a pace. So Shadow is still the way you want to go with in terms of Kante. Robertson, you put a shadow. Now, in terms of the back line, we have gone with Varane. Now, again, I would go with Wan-Bissaka and Kyle Walker here. But just, of course, to keep everyone happy, we're going to put Varane in One of the top tier centre backs, pure centre backs in the game. He does lack the balance. That's the only downside. Medium high, perfect work rates for a defender, but for me, he does lack the balance, and that balance is important. A, for pressing off the ball. B, for the run and jockey, and C, just for on the ball movement when you have possession and you're building up the play. So it's not really a player that I personally will prefer. I would still prefer a fullback over him. But if I had to choose a centre back, he'll definitely be up there with one of my choices, and he's probably one of the best centre backs in the Premier League, surpassing Virgil van Dijk, of course, because of that pace. Goalkeepers, you have two. You can either go Addison or Edison, should I say? Either one is completely fine. I mean, I personally go with Edison just because I like him. I like the distribution for Edison. I put a glove on him, of course. And of course, with Varane, you put a shadow on him as well. But be my guest to use any other form of goalkeeper. You can use De Gea if you want to, but I've just gone with Edison. 6'2". He isn't the tallest of goalkeepers, but he has everything. And he has that speed. I like to bring my goalkeepers out quite a lot. So I do really much enjoy the speed. Now, for the right centre-back, you can go with Virgil van Dijk. You can go with Gomez. You can also go with Informa Mero on the cheap. But I am putting Walker here. There is no question of a doubt. This guy is potentially him. Or I got a red card. Him and both Wan-Bissaka together are so good. But if you're going to be putting one, at least Walker is the hybrid centre back. He's a bit more taller. He's got high work rates. He's got a bit better physical than most fullbacks. So definitely one of the best. I use a Garden on him just simply because I prefer the better agility. But feel free to use Anchor on him. But I prefer to get a balance up, should I say. But it's up to you. Now, the right-hand side, we're going to go with Tecatito, just because simply he's too good to say no. Again, he's... I wanted 4 attackers like Ronaldo, Son, and Mane, and Tecatito that can either play in striker, in cam. All these guys can interchange. Of course, you should be playing Ronaldo in striker, and if you're playing a 4-2-1 Tecatito and cam. But I'll go over that. Manafa, in all honesty, look, Manafa, I'm going to be dead honest with you. You can go in with a gold card, buy him with a shadow, or you can get the upgraded card. It's completely up to you. That is the team. Now, so how does it look for chemistry? So in terms of chemistry purposes, this is what we're looking at. So we're looking at something like this. As you can see, he gets 100 chemistry just behind the camera. You can see 100 chemistry. Now, it is 1.3. As I said to you, all you have to do is just take this guy out and put on in. And there you got the million coin team. But because it's around about 900k, so I've just averaged it from all platforms and the prices will go down a little bit. So it's about 1 million, just over 1 million on Xbox. But it will go down with prices, etc., as well. But that is a team. So how are we looking in game for chemistry? So in game, obviously you start with this for chemistry purposes, and in game you're going to change it. So we're going to go through the main formations. We're going to go, of course, with the 4-2-3-1 first. I would probably say Son will get offloaded just because I prefer someone like Tecatito in the middle, just because he's a bit more smoother on the ball compared to Son. And I'll put Son on the right because I like to cut him with Mane. And I'll be honest, for a million coins, I've looked online, you cannot get a better front than this. Not a well-rounded front, not with basically essentially 3 5-star weak footers if you count Ronaldo and Mane, of course, being a 4-star. But of course, you've got 2 5-star skill moves as well. So you have that kind of that balance. You can, of course, you want to put Son there, but I prefer him because he's a bit more agile. Now going over to the 4-4-2, again, same thing. You can do it like this, or you can put Son up front. I personally go with Son up front as I just feel myself he's a bit more clinical, although the stats don't really say that. But Son is definitely more clinical than him. That's what I found. I think potentially the shot power, even on the full chemistry. But that's what I say. But if you want someone a bit more agile, someone a bit more rigid, then I would say he's thinking of like the Neymar-esque of last year as I used him, and then Ronaldo up front. If we're using the 4-1-2-1-2, which I think is where it really will excel, you put Son in cam, or you can put Son in striker, and then you can put Tecatito in cam. And then what I'll do is I'll put Mane as a left centre mid. Of course, Mane would be on join the attack, get forward, or join the attack in any form of left centre mid role. So you kind of make that forward 4, and you got Bruno Fernandes on stay back and Kante on stay back as well. That's, of course, you can use my tactics for this. And if you're going for the 3-5-2, which is the go-to formation in my opinion for attacking, I'll probably do something on the same level. I'll put him in cam because he's got a bit better passing, and I'll leave it like this. Who would offload to the side? All I'll do is this, put Varane in the middle, and I'll put Manafa or Robertson. Now, if you're going to do it like this, just sub on Manafa and sub off Manafa, go get like Informa Tal, get a Tal, put someone like a Tal. If you've got Gosens, Gosens works very well in that right mid position. You just want a fast player. But any form of sub, I would say buy worst case gold. A title card costs nothing, or even gold Dembele will do a very good job there. And then finally, if we go with the 4-3-2-1, that is, of course, we're going to put Ronaldo in striker. And the way that I would personally do it, maybe I'd put in my 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1, I'd put Son in cam, just because this is my personal preference. I don't think these guys really attack as well. I just personally don't like the 4-3-2-1 as I did when the game came out. If it works for you, it's fine. But I'll put Son because I prefer him to come from deep and I can pass the ball to him. And of course, Varane and Kante in the middle, of course, and put him on balance there. And Varane or Walker, doesn't matter which way they go. But anyway, guys, that is, of course, the Meta 1 million coin squad builder. Hope you enjoyed the video. And of course, as I said, don't forget this video is, of course, sponsored by my Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. If you do want to get better at FIFA, of course, I've got videos on there on my channel. That link is down below in the description for my FIFA School Series. I think you know that already, FIFA School. Loads of videos there. Attack patterns, when to switch, how to defend, all the basics, run and jockey, everything like that. But anyway, link is down below in the description for that and in the comment section down below. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. That is, of course, the team. Take it easy, and of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.